Oh, you can search far and wide, you can drink the whole town dry, but you'll never find a beer so brown, you'll never find a beer so brown as the one we drink in our hometown, as the one we drink in our hometown. You can keep your fancy ales, you can drink them by the flagon, and the only brew for the brave and true comes from the Green Dragon.
Hey, ho, to the bottle I go, to heal my heart and drown my woe. Rain may fall and wind may blow, but there still be many miles to go.
Sweet is the sound of the pouring rain, and the stream that falls from the hill to plain. Better than rain or a rippling brook is a mug of beer inside this took.
Blunt the knives, bend the forks, smash the bottles and burn the corks, chip the glasses and crack the plates. That's what Bilbo Baggins hates.
Cut the cloth, tread the fat, leave the bones on the bedroom mat, pour the milk on the pantry floor, splash the wine on every door,
Dump the crocks in the boiling bowl,
pound them up with a thumping bowl,
then when you're finished, you
they are whole, send them down the hall to roll.
That's what Bilbo Baggins hates.
There's a merry old inn beneath the old grey hill, and there they brew a beer so brown the man in the moon himself came down one night to drink his fill.
Oh, the oyster has a tipsy cat that plays the five-string fiddle, and up and down he saws his bow, now squeaky high,
Now purring low, now sawing in the middle.
So the cat on his fiddle played hey diddle diddle, a jig that would wake the dead. He squeaked and he sawed and he quickened the tune, while the landlord shook by the man in the moon.
It's after 3, he said. Now quicker the fiddle went diddle-dum-diddle. Dog began to roar. The cows and the horses stood on their heads. The guests all bounded from their beds and danced upon the floor. Round the moon behind the hill as the sun raised up her head. She hardly believed her fiery eyes, though it was day to her surprise. They all went back to bed.
Hello everybody, how are we doing tonight? Well, I'm doing alright myself. Doing okay. Keeping it together, you know? The San Andreas stream at the beginning was quite rough, but hey, I'm excited. I had a lot of good times with that, and today we're going to be playing more Boltgun. Hello there.
Hello there.
There it is. I saw it before it could play. Hi, how's it going? Good to see you, Misty. Yep, today we're playing more Boltgun. We're getting into the, well, to be fair, the whole game has been demony up to this point, but we are getting into the properly warped fucked portion of the game. Yeah, so a lot of fucked up perspective puzzles and such. I elected not to fight these Screamers of Tzeentch my last time through this, but we'll just take care of them real quick while we're here, you know? Might as well deal with the problem. No idea what this is. This is Warhammer 40,000 Boltgun. This is a new kick-ass first-person shooter. Even if you know nothing about Warhammer, this game is super duper fun. Hey, OB, I like your octopus. What is a bolt gun? A bolt gun, in real life, is a thing they use to slaughter cows. In Warhammer, it is a rapid-fire rocket launcher. Each of these shells is... hold on. So, each of those shells are like small rockets that fire and explode on impact. They also punch through armor. They're really effective. It's a really effective weapon, and it's one of the most badass things about 40k. Proceed onward to data archive. You can probably ask what is blank about this game, and I could tell you everything about it. There we go, got one. We pierced their armor. They didn't explode. I don't know anything about Warhammer. Alright, so basically what it is it's in the future, of course. In the year 40,000, where Humanity is expanded across the entire galaxy. Aliens are real. Demons are real. Lovecraftian horrors and gods are real. And mankind hates all of them and wants to wipe them out because they are each antithetical to what humanity wants to achieve in its own way. Warhammer is basically stories about knights in space killing shit they don't understand. What 9 is that box? Well, these are basic just carrier units. They're like shipping containers. Yeah. Nobody's really the good guy in 40k. Everyone is different flavors of fucked up and evil. And that's the fun of the setting. If you like villains, everyone's a villain in 40k. Ooh, a Chaos Sorcerer. Nice. Ah, he's fucking me up. I gotta get some health. Shush, shush, shush. Alright. Screamer of Tzeentch. Take care of him real quick. I think it's time for the heavy bolter. Oh, damn, he is tough. Grenade out. Oh, if you're wondering about the parts of the map that look like fire blue, or like it's all reflective and weird looking, that's because it's literally dipping into another dimension. It's just parts of space that have been ripped away. Because like I said, demons are real, and they're bastards. That's most of what you fight in this game. Saying is space post-apocalypse without being post-apocalypse. Yeah, pretty much. It is heavily post-apocalyptic. It's the idea of humanity at its worst fighting things that are worse than itself. Like, we have amazing technology, but we don't understand any of it. So, like, the guns I'm using, nobody knows how they work. They just use them. They're from a time where humanity was super advanced, but they have since fallen and lost all that they have once had, you know? Because there was a time period where humanity was doing super duper well, but because of demons, they lost all that, you know? Because of the warp, as it's called. And horrible witches and demons and such, yeah. It's a lot more complicated than that, and I am very much oversimplifying, but I think Crusaders in space killing shit they don't understand is a great way to summarize Warhammer. And we need to get moving because I am low on health. Did they make the pyramids? What happened to Earth? Earth is fine. Earth is not fine. Earth is scorched top to bottom. It looks like Mars. And Mars is even more fucked now. But basically Earth fell to nuclear hellfire. Basically, you know, the nukes went off, the entire planet fell, and one man named the Emperor eventually recaptured Earth and used it to lead the galaxy, but Earth right now is like a holy land. Not a lot of people live there, it's mostly desert, but on that is where the Emperor lives, albeit barely. During a civil war with mankind, the Emperor took so many injuries that he now is just sitting on life support for all eternity. Ah, Thud, hi. Hey, Ashri, thanks for the follow. I saw you followed earlier. Did they make the pyramids? Not the aliens, no. I love settings where it's set in the carcass of an old fallen civilization. Why is the reason I Fallout so much? Yes, absolutely. Yeah, if you like Fallout or like that kind of idea of societal decay, then Warhammer's for you. But yeah, welcome to the stream, Ashri. I saw you followed earlier. I really appreciate it. Good to see you. I hope your fall didn't hurt you too much. How are we doing? I saw someone reblog your Tumblr, so I got here. Kick ass, man! I'm really happy when people tell me, like, specifically where they're from, because it lets me know what's actually working. Yeah, a couple other people joined from Tumblr, too. Yeah, thank you. I really appreciate it. Let's grab some health and some armor. Where the heckity is this, sorcerer? But yeah, in this world, in this setting, psychics exist, and a lot of times, sometimes they're able to do good, but a lot of times, the problem with psychic power is that you basically have to look into hell in order to, or this galaxy's equivalent to hell, to gain power from it. I got here from Facebook. For real, Ovi? That's awesome. I don't know if I'd believe you, because I've known you for a long time, but it'd be really funny if you actually joined from Facebook. Yeah, Fallout's super sick. No, alright. Warhammer is a really big setting. Basically, the way Warhammer started was it was made by a bunch of people that made miniatures for games like D&D. And they made all their own miniatures, and they said, hey, what if we just had a game that connected all of our miniatures together? And then they made it, and it was called Warhammer, and they kept making more miniatures and writing more lore for those miniatures, until eventually they're just like, alright, let's make books and games and shit. Where's that sorcerer? I keep losing him. Let's not talk about refueling the warp drive. Refueling the warp drive is let's feed a person into that shit. Oh no, our old astropath died out. Yeah, because people actually have to look through hell in order to navigate through space. Because instead of having just light speed in this world, what happens is people dip into an alternate dimension where there is a lot less space, so they can travel far shorter distances and then jump back into real space, which will bring them greater distances. Did they find any of the spider universes? I don't know yet. I'll have to look into that. People using old advanced tech from the past they don't understand. Yeah. Helen, yep, that's where all the Chaos gods live. It's called the Warp. Basically, alternate universe to our own, in which all thoughts, all feelings are made manifest. The demons in this world are actually made by people. They don't know it, but basically their subconscious thoughts and beliefs actually create the Chaos gods and continue and feed them and basically keep them alive. Similar to like American Gods or Sandman or Shin Megami Tensei or Persona, if you're familiar with those. Same basic principle is the idea that collective human thought creates, or collective thought creates gods. Spider-Man. Man, the Fallout Reddit sub, which was clickbait. Well, I'm sorry for clickbaiting you. Yeah, the warp. The warp is the realms of thought. It's also the realm of magic and all other such things. Anyone who does magic in the Warhammer universe has to, albeit temporarily, open their minds to the warp. And they basically, the way magic works is you open your mind to this realm of sheer power, and whatever part you open it to, that's where you pull your power from. So, like, a spot where there's fire, if you want to use fire magic, you dip your mind into the fire part. That's how it works in the old world, at least, in Warhammer Fantasy. Lightning, whatever, you know. If you bleed hard enough, that's how it becomes real. That's how a machine spirit became a thing. Yep. So I mentioned the fact that technology was lost, right? Well, there are people that make guns. There are people that make this stuff, but they're just following old instructions. And they're a group of religious zealots known as the Adeptus Mechanicus. And what the cult Mechanicus or the Adeptus Mechanicus does is they, you know, copy old technology, but they also hoard it and they protect it, similar to the Brotherhood of Steel. Unlike the Brotherhood of Steel, however, the Adeptus Mechanicus believes that there's this being known as the Machine God that controls all technology, and they pray to him, or they pray to it. In fact, a lot of times the Machine God isn't, and it actually works too because of the warp, is they believe that praying for your car will get it to start again, and it starts again, that kind of thing. Yes, the Mechanicus is so cool. Do you know how bolt guns work? Yes. I mean, kind of. It's tough. Yeah, I have the basic ideas of it, but the necessary individual nitty-gritty is lost to history. That long-ass Fallout 2 stream you did, I saw your very first stream of yours I saw it because of your Reddit clickbait posts, so woo. Yeah. I don't like to do that, but, you know, sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do as a content creator. Let me up. There we go. And, oh, shit. Was not expecting to fail repeatedly at a platforming challenge. How bolt guns work. But yeah, and mostly what I'm talking about in terms of Warhammer lore is just the lore of humanity. Every race has so much lore in Warhammer. There's humanity, there's the orcs, who are basically space orcs, and they're super sick and simple. They're basically just, like, imagine the raiders from Mad Max Fury Road, but it's an entire society of them on the galactic scale, and they love fighting, and that's all they love doing, and they have so much fun doing it. They're the only people in the Warhammer universe that are actually happy. And then you have the Eldar, which are like space elves. The Necrons, which are a race of machines, of living living machines. Orcs are basically older than fucking dirt. Yeah, they're super old. They're also fungal in nature. They're living fungus. If you didn't do it, then it's how it'd be here. So I love how that works, huh? Yeah, that's my thought exactly. You know, I can clickbait, which I don't like doing, but when I do it, as long as it brings in people and they have a good time, that's what really matters, you know? And that's something I've gotten over the years. I know back in the old days, I would get so mad at, like, crappy YouTube thumbnails or clickbait, and I wouldn't click them purely out of spite. Like, I wasn't a very fun person now that I say it out loud, but, like, I remember that really got on my nerves. However, now, ever since I started content creating for myself, I'm just like, oh shit, this is a necessity. And also, it doesn't matter once they're in here. Like, if a viewer sees something of mine and it's a bit, you know, it's not quite what they were expecting, but they're having a good time, I feel like that's the most important thing. He teleported back up, that coward. Literally following rules. Yep. Yeah, there's a lot of interesting things about all the different cultures and worlds of 40K, because it's just been infinitely written. It's, on the level of the Star Wars expanded universe, but there's no like original movies to go through. It's just all based off of a tabletop game. I should start using these portals. I'm realizing that these portals don't just lead out of the level. I was worried they led out of where I was. That's a fun effect. All right, let's go through that one again. I want to go back up. Where are you, crafty bitch? Payday 3 gameplay's out. Nice. How's it look? There's Tyranids that are just big. They're just a fleet of bugs that are likely going to win and eat everything. Where are you, Chaos Sorcerer? He's upstairs. You can now chokehold hostages. Cool. I've always wanted to chokehold a hostage. Wait, I mean, in the game. I mean... Whoa, shit. The Emperor himself is kind of a mysterious being. He's not a good guy, but he is the guy... Basically, he's the superhuman who rose up and united mankind. And he is effectively the Chaos God of mankind. He's the most famous god that's worshipped in the 40K universe. And worshipping him does offer you power, but less immediately than the Chaos Gods do. The Chaos Gods are far more effective. But yeah, where the heck is this thing? And basically what the Emperor is he's a anti-Chaos God. If you... His abilities and his blessings will protect you from the warp. And we're playing as a Space Marine, one of the super soldiers that were built from his DNA. Not necessarily a clone, but somebody who's heavily modified with gene implants. And you're going back upstairs now. Here we go. I did it. Bulldozers look less scary and cute. How do you make a small-ass rocket? Swings are literally walking tanks. Yep, absolutely. Every single one of them, I would describe them as, like, each one of them as a Captain America. How do you make small-ass rockets? I mean, we have a lot of technology that's shrunk down. If you played Doom 2016, think of them as the mini missiles, but far more effective and armor-piercing. Hard, here we go. Boom. The shard inside some kind of vault in these canyons. Seek out any signs of Imperial presence and search for a means of ingress. Beware, heretics will not be far behind. Power armor. Yeah, they do have the power armor. On top of that, though, their skin is like it's as strong as iron. SMG rockets from Half-Life 2. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, but perhaps. Yeah, I think that's a good comparison. Yeah. They have their power armor, of course, and that gives them more strength, but beneath their power armor, they aren't just normal people. Warp-related phenomenon detected, many systems offline, real space integrity compromised. I guess they took all my guns away, which makes no sense, but whatever. Apparently, this game does that. I had heard about it beforehand, so I'm not too upset. I've been... Oh, cool, a tumbleweed! Nice! Alright, now we're in a desert now. Okay, this is really neat. I like how we're not just inside more cathedrals and such. This is a chainsword. Some technology, particularly on altering the genes of a child before they're born, like picking their hair color, height. Well, that's an interesting thought, because already we kind of do that naturally just by sharing our own genes. The argument could be made is that the only negative argument to be made, unless it like fucks with the health of the child, let's assume it works, right? And it doesn't just kill the kid, and it can be used to make the kid stronger or whatever. Two things matter about that, and it's, one, is that child going to be oppressed by the laws of society, like in Gattaca, because of their genes? And question number two, and the other problem is that the kid can't choose for himself, which of course the kid can't choose for himself anyway, so it doesn't really matter. So I guess I'm okay with it as long as there's no gene-based oppression. But that's the number one problem you'd have with that, is like, let's say rich people could basically genetically modify their children so they live longer, then that would create an even wider divide between the rich and the poor than we already have. It would cause immense societal issues no matter how healthy it was or unhealthy it was for the child. You play Iron Lung Gmod, if you're familiar with the Garage pistol. So people can join. Join what? Oh yeah, so the way the Space Marines are joined is pretty much they're child soldiers. A child with a strong capacity for violence. That's been the main thing, is a capacity for violence. Like, if you find a kid who's really good at killing and really good at staying alive, that kid will likely become a Space Marine if he's found by Space Marines. They will take the child in, have him undergo indoctrination, rituals, brainwashing, torture, all kinds of things eventually to create him into the ultimate Iron Lung Gmod. Not familiar with Iron Lung. I do know Gmod though. But yeah, so basically the idea is that they take the child, they indoctrinate them, and they modify them both with genetics and with bionics as well, to basically make them into the ultimate soldier. Yeah, my thoughts on gene alteration of a child before they are born is that as long as it doesn't hurt the child, I guess it's fine, but it's going to create issues no matter what. Even if it's available, even if the only way it could not be a problem is if it was available to everybody freely, but that's a different issue. The IR jet pistol is basically a 60, is basically a small 55 caliber rocket. Really interesting, but pretty much useless. Yeah, okay, so similar idea to that. It's a two-stage ignition, so the first shot will... Yo, Coda VT, thank you so much for the follow. I really appreciate it, man. Welcome to the stream. But the way that a bolter works is at first it's fired out of the gun like a normal bullet, and midway upon its travel, once it reaches max speed, stage 2 begins, in which the casing is ejected, or a secondary casing is ejected from the gun, and then... Hold on, let me just cut this Plague Toad in half. It's not going well. He's done. And so, it's ejected from the gun, or sorry, the casing is ejected from the rocket, and then the bullet becomes a rocket as it travels through the air. Sometimes it'll hit its target beforehand and just shoot its way through. One thing I'm worried about is basically turning child shopping. People are going to want certain traits over others. Everyone wants their child to be tall. The most people want their child to be tall. Yep, absolutely. Yeah, it'll be there to enforce beauty standards as well. It's like, all right, well, I want my child to... Oh, hey, a plague drone! A bloat drone, kick ass. I want my child to have a good chance at finding love. Let's give them traits that are seen as desirable. And so we'd have a situation where beauty standards would be enforced on a genetic level. Yo, sorry, this is off topic, but I just want to remind you, your mic audio is amazing. Really? Thank you. I don't really have much to say other than I basically just did it, and then some people who were listening to me just said, hey, your mic audio sounds like shit, and then they sat me down and helped me fix it. I don't actually know what I've done in order to make it work, but thank you for the compliment. I really appreciate it. Yeah, the tall gene, the big dick gene, like the big breast gene, different things like that could lead to a real problem with genetic modification. Also, I apologize if this is a weird conversation to jump into, but this is something I actually do like to think about, is like future ideas like this. They're really nightmarish sometimes. There's a movie called, Misty, there's a movie called Gattaca about this very concept. You should definitely check it out. The hung like a horse gene, yeah. Donkey dick gene. But you know what'd be funny though, as a result of that? There would be genetic fashion trends. Like, yeah, sure, tall, big dick, big tits gene, that'd be a thing for a while, right? But after a couple generations, people might start getting sick of it, if it's all they see everywhere, you know? Predisposed to have a fursona gene. Yes. Oh, yeah, there'd be animal people, all kinds of shit like that. Can you imagine how infuriating it would be as a child, where it's like, I don't want to be a wolf man. Mom, Dad, why'd you decide to give me the fur genes? It's like, it's what we wanted for ourselves. Like, yeah, that's you. Why are you enforcing your will upon me in that way? Hell, that's just normal parents shit, though. Parents are already like that. It's like, you're gonna go to a good college. Like, I don't want to go to college. I want to be a kazoo player. Like, no. You can't go to kazoo college. I'm just saying, Dad really should have let me go to Kazoo College. I could have killed that shit. But nope, I had to go to Streamer College. Damn. Now look at me. Animal Clans. Listening for a while, I thought you were talking about Warhammer lore. No, Misty posed a hypothetical, and I'm just thinking about this. Yes, Dark Futures. Hey, Jingle, good to see you. This is going to be Animal Clan. Genetic modification can also be used as a punishment if you read All Tomorrows. Yes! All Tomorrows is a nightmare. Okay, so All Tomorrows. Basically how All Tomorrows goes is, you know, humanity's doing its thing in the future. It's expanding. One day they run across an alien race that is scientifically inclined, and they basically are way more advanced than humanity. And instead of wiping us out, however, they twist us genetically into like a bunch of different forms and set us loose on the galaxy and just observe us. That's the basic idea of All Tomorrow's. Fucking frog! There we go, he's done. But yeah, there's a really good movie called Gattaca that's about the gene modifying concept and how it could be used to oppress people. Basically, it's about a guy who wants to be an astronaut. However, because of his genes, they won't accept him. Not even because of his physical performance or anything he can accomplish, but because of his genetics, they won't accept him. And so what he does is he basically fakes a series of genetic tests, swapping his genetics for a man who was like a super duper athlete because of his genes. However, he had a spinal injury that bound him to a wheelchair for the rest of his life. And so they work together. Basically, the guy who wants to become an astronaut pays the fallen athlete to, you know, basically buy his genes and fake these different gene tests so that he can become an astronaut and follow his dream. It's a very good, very sad movie. There are some parts in the movie, though, that are horrific, such as my favorite part being you have to be a certain height to be an astronaut, right? What does our main character do? Well, he gets a special leg surgery to increase his height, where they cut his bones inside, spread them apart, and then fuse them back together. So he gains a few inches of height. And evidently that's a real surgery, and it is agonizingly painful and horrible for your health. All Tomorrows is wonderful. Oh, man. What genes are you adding to your child? By the Emperor! Oh my god, yeah, that's Gene Stealer cults. Gene Stealer cults are this concept. So, like I said, there's this race of aliens called the Tyranids. And what goes ahead of the Tyranids before they invade a planet to eat it is they send out these things called Gene Stealers, in which they basically remember Wonder Movie or book. What, Obi? Can you clarify? But, and the kid who has plastic surgery. Not familiar. Wonder Movie or book? Oh, Wonder Movie and book. Wonder book versus movie. Wonder by R.J. Palacio. Oh, okay. Interesting. 10-year-old has a genetic condition, left his face disfigured and required countless surgeries and special care due to his condition. Okay. Apparently it's well loved. I'll add it to my book list. Oh, I have no I guess I just didn't read that one. I was too busy reading real existential horror like Flat Stanley. Yes! I love the end of All Tomorrows. It's very heartwarming, despite being so horrific. I like the Orbitals. I think my favorite version of the Orbitals. I think they're super neat. Then there were just the hedonistic monkey people. They were neat. What was the other one I was thinking of? Genetic life on your kid. Christianity's love is beauty, since plants will want their kid to be beautiful, but the ones who aren't will be shunned. Strengthen the concept of pushing your ideal genetic life on your child. Absolutely. Yeah, there's a lot of things in life that are considered to be things you need, yet they are not provided to you. And adding to the list of those things, I think, is a misstep. Which is the problem with creating products, is because if we keep creating products, we're going to create more and more items that are basically required to live, you know? Like phones, cars, basic things you need to survive that are not given to you freely, even though you'll basically not be able to function in society without it. Well, colonists were fucked over so hard, big time, yeah. I know there's like an animated version where someone like took their time to render all the different variants of humanity. That sounds cool. I don't know if I can watch that because some of those variants are really disturbing. I'd call me a bitch, but like, I don't know. But yeah, we have that idea in like Cyberpunk as well, where it's like everyone has a phone built into their skull because you need a phone to survive. Regulated, no, I don't think it should be. I think you should, like, the idea of regulation is always weird to me, where people will go like, oh, this piece of technology that people need to survive, do you want to just stop people from getting it? No, I want everyone to get it. Just like how everyone should have a phone, everyone should be able to get a car, regardless of their wealth or status in society. Basic necessities like groceries, healthcare, all of that should be free. And in this case, so should genetic modification. If it becomes something that is required to exist, it should become free. Hand flappers existed. Yeah, the hand flappers. Economic regulation. Thank you for the pets, Obi. I really appreciate it. I need some pets to cool my head down when I'm doing some hard sci-fi thinking. Also, I apologize if I'm just wandering around in this area. I'm kind of actually lost, but I'm luckily I'm talking about something super interesting, so I'm not really getting frustrated, you know? Yay, pets. But no, I don't think it, like, regulation, no, but when it gets to the point where it might require regulation and it's starting to shape humanity, it should be given to people freely if they need it, or if they ask for it, you know? It's like, oh, hey, you know, your child's doing well. Do you want to open up the character creator? Kind of modify some shit? Have a new generation in society? Yeah, because it'll basically turn children into fashion statements. But at the same time, it could be used to rid yourselves of problems like, oh no, my child's going to have a really bad deformity. It's going to stop them from being able to function. Let's fix that, you know? Things like that would be really useful for that. I think for that concept, that's really helpful, you know? It's like, oh, hey, looks like your child's going to be really prone to heart failure, such as myself, in which both sides of my family have a history of heart failure and heart disease. Let's isolate the gene that does that and see about fixing that for your kid so that they can live a long, healthy life. Like, all that, I'm all for that, personally. But it's when we get into the cosmetic side of things of like, oh, hey, if you make your child taller, they'll be more confident and be more likely to succeed in society, which is something that you can, I don't want to say statistically prove, but it is shown that most successful people are taller, you know? Oh, shit. I don't have a bolt gun. I don't have any more bolt gun ammo. Die then, asshole. I have no ammunition. I need to actually retreat for once. This is the first time in this entire game I have run out of ammunition for the bolt gun. Grab the health. There we go. I'm gonna die. That's it. Oh no, it's not over yet. It's basically over. I'm gonna be a basketball player like Manute Boy. Yeah. But, genetic modifications are like used to spiral transplants because genetics to get altered. Interesting. Yeah, we have lower levels of it, like we can use stem cell research, you know. But yeah, it's basic things like that where it's things like that get into the weird, fucked up eugenics side of things, where it's like maybe like a certain race, you know, of people. Certain genetic traits based off of your ethnicity are associated with negative qualities. And imagine having a parent that changes that, you know? It's like, oh, hey, mom's an African-American lady. She had a hard time getting jobs unless she straightened her hair and acted white. And now she has gained success because of that. Boy, I'm diving into some dark subject matter here. Why don't we just have my child have straight hair and lose a lot of the ethnic traits both me and my husband have? That kind of idea. That's kind of horrific. I don't think that's a very good thing. It would create a massive social economic divide. Basically, you have kids who are given traits specifically for effective position, military positions, being born into these places of society, forced into it, no way out. Yes, it is a nightmare of ethics. And at the end of the day, it seems like, unless it's being specifically used for the purpose of improvement, of like, hey, I don't want my kid to die of cancer at 12, you know, when he's likely to do that, I think you're going to run into ethical issues. The other problem is you can't regulate it. As long as it's the moment that the technology is discovered, you can't just be like, all right, no one's allowed to use the cosmetic side of this anymore. Because there are people with money and power who don't have to obey your regulation. There are people out there who can still get that. What the hell? Oh, that wasn't my blood. Okay, good. All right, if I can get back over there, I can come back with a vengeance. People whose ancestors survived the Black Plague developed a gene that makes them more resistant to the HIV virus, and the bone marrow is transplanted there, has a chance for the gene to carry over, which has a chance to cure someone of the HIV virus, which has happened to a total of 4 people. That's badass, man. That's really great. I love that. I've also heard of things like, I think I broke someone's heart by telling them this recently. Do you guys know that people get shit transplants? Stool transplants. Basically, it's the idea that you have a certain kind of bacteria in your guts that protects you from certain... God damn it, I'm out of ammunition again. Certain things. And so, like, let's say you want to go to this country and drink the water and you're going to be spending a lot of time there, you can get basically a stool transplant where you're given some fecal matter from someone who's grown up in that area, and in doing so it gives you resistance to the water, or that kind of thing. That's super gross. A stool transplant, it's not called a shit transplant, I was just doing that for shock value, but still, it's like, really gross. It's an incredibly interesting discussion. Absolutely, I love this kind of thing. I love brain candy, as I like to call it. Go to hell. You know, for once, I think I'm gonna actually have to run past enemies. I don't think I can deal with this unless I have ammunition. What the f... Fuck this. Yeah, if you think I'm gonna waste my fucking bolt gun ammo on that bullet sponge, you got another thing coming. But yeah, I love this kind of discussion. I love brain candy stuff. They did that in mice and apparently it improved symptoms of mental illness. Really? Gut microbiome science is wild. Yeah, man. I've heard good shit about, like, injecting... Like, they took the blood of young mice, and they injected it into old mice, and it made them younger. Or it made them, it reversed some of their aging, which was interesting. Or slowed their aging, I mean, not reversed it. Can't really reverse it once it happens. But it helped them, so to speak. So there's a possibility that certain aspects of aging can be mitigated by transplants of young blood. Which is an interesting concept, you know? What I do love here is the idea of people freely giving them parts of themselves to others in order to help, you know? Like the bone marrow transplant, the gut biome stuff, I think all that's really rad, and I think a far better solution than directly modifying genes, because it's like, rather than fucking with what we've already been given, we are working together. It's almost like cooperation. It's like genetic cooperation, you know? Something that already naturally happens through the natural process of reproduction. And it's kind of uplifting to think about. Come on. Yep, there we go. No! Alright. If I clear out this area, I'm not going to survive, so I'm not going to clear out this area. That's my current mindset. Oh, god damn it, I did it again. That's okay. Bone marrow transplant is a wild concept, right? A lot of this is. It's crazy the kind of stuff we have available to us. I think possible different ways to enter society against dystopian, but what different dystopias are there? To be fair, a lot of dystopias are just worse versions of what we already have, where technically All a dystopia is it's basically just a fucked up society. And we technically already live in one. And there's a lot of different kinds of dystopia, and all of them come down to who has the most power. You know, there's corporate dystopias, there's government dystopias like in 1984, there's corporate dystopias like the one we live in, there's religious dystopias like Warhammer. Like, there's a lot of different ways you can take it, and when it comes to storytelling, that's one thing, but when it comes to hypotheticals about real life, it's just it basically comes down to what issues can we stop before they, you know, begin to become a problem. Yeah. Yeah, it's, and again, yes, good and bad is an ultimately a personal perspective thing. A lot of dystopias come from like giving one group of people power over another, you know? Like Rapture, for instance. Rapture from BioShock started off as a capitalist libertarian dystopia that existed in favor of people like Andrew Ryan or Atlas or Fontaine, which are both the same people. Hello, Witty, how you doing, man? One person's dystopia can be another person's utopia. Absolutely. A lot of, and that's the other thing you gotta remember, a lot of dystopias happen in order to try and create utopias. Like, the world of Rapture exists because of the rise of the Soviet Union. The only reason why Rapture exists is because of what the Soviet Union did to Russia, Andrew Ryan's country of origin, and he basically wanted to create a world that wasn't like that, you know? The only reason the dystopian world of... Hold on a second, guys. Warhammer exists is because of an attempt to create a world free of chaos. The road to hell is paved with good intentions, you know? Chill in Stardew Valley, that's awesome, man. That's why I'm typically not very fond of people who want to change the world. Whenever people talk about, like, wanting to push forth crazy ideas that are going to change the world, I'm immediately skeptical. You can even look at the societies of Fallout, they work off the same basic idea. Change the world, my final lesson. Jingo! Can't be done by one person. Yes, absolutely, I agree. Would turn into a dystopia. Mm-hmm. Just like a world that is purely chaos would also be a dystopia. Like if we went just like, oh, no rules, haha, everyone's free to do whatever the fuck they want. Like, yeah, that's gonna be just as bad, and inevitably that will lead to totalitarianism if everybody is given too much freedom. Now, of course, I lean more in that direction because I'm a bit of an anarchist myself. Jesus! Mm-hmm. Four Endings, Path, and FMD are all dystopias. Yep, in their own ways, absolutely. You have the conquest of the... You have the conquest of the Legion. You have the utter corrupt bureaucracy of the NCR. What was the other two? You have, you know, House, who basically does the Andrew Ryan thing of complete economic freedom, but the little folk are limited by that. And then you have the Yes Man ending, which is either complete anarchist chaos or robot oppression. That's kind of what makes Star Trek super cool, and it's because that one of the great things about early I guess Star Trek at its best is the idea of we are living in a utopia. Full stop. This isn't a fucked up, evil, corrupt utopia. It is just a utopia, and our story is about having things challenge that utopia and showing how through cooperation, different people of different walks of life can come together and solve problems. One thing to know in the different term and country, people have different understanding of this. Really? I didn't know that. Tell me a bit about it. It was booming because of the war and people betting their side would win. Absolutely, yeah. I want to call myself an anarchist, but I get too much serotonin from buying stuff. Well, it's an interesting thing, because I've been thinking about it. I used to not want to call myself an anarchist either, but the meaning of the word has kind of changed over time. The idea, I guess the idea that I've seen pushed forth as modern anarchy is to be consistently critical about power structures. The idea that, like, no matter what a company does, no matter what a government does, or what a religion does, you are always critical and willing to look after your own best interests and the interests of your fellow man over all of that. Which, to me, like, I have an ideal of what I want a government to be, but it doesn't really have a political leaning. It's the idea that governments, religions, and the economy exist to serve the people, to make the most amount of people happy, and if it fails to do so, then it is a failure. I still pay my taxes, though, because... No, I don't pay my taxes because I think it's going to anything good. I think I pay my taxes because I'm under threats of violence if I don't. Maybe understanding is a bad word. Country utopia is some kind of destination. Maybe impossible, good going this. Other sees a possible thing that will give only pain. Yeah, I think ultimately we should strive for what's good, but there will be... You should not be ignorant of the pain and suffering that you gain along the way. The heart should always guide the mind. Putting CBD in the water. Good man. Because they're trying to make me pay taxes. Every word has some associations different or another culture. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, because anarchy is one of those words that's kind of changed definitions. I say it a lot of times for fun, because just sheer chaos is kind of the character I'm playing here. But ultimately, I don't know what I am. On the compass, I'm left-wing libertarian. But, like, I don't know. I think that corporations require, like, any power structure of any kind requires, what's the word? Checks and balances, as well as, monitoring heavily. Because we have consistently seen throughout our history that big corporations, religion, and government commit the greatest acts of evil, yet they are necessary. Taxes is bad, funding society project content is good, but when in practice we get, well, what we live in. Yeah, exactly. Because we don't get to decide where our taxes go, they just simply go. I mean, we do get to a... Sorry, that's a dumb thing to say. We do get to decide to a point, but within there are corrupt people who want to shift the balance of power in their favor. Only alignment that allows catgirl cloning society. Power cables lead to local mining structure. Follow. All right. All right, so we're following. But yeah, sorry, I try to stay away from the political, but when you get into these kind of dystopian sci-fi concepts, you are going to dip a little bit into politics. Yeah, I am rather laissez-faire when it comes to individuals letting them decide what they want to do with themselves. However, like, modifying your children before birth is more than a tad bit terrifying. How am I doing on ammo here? I guess I can make the shotgun work. Me when catgirls. Man, I don't know how to feel about catgirl society. Oh my god, okay. Let's talk about sci-fi reasons for catgirls existing, because there's shit ones. There's the, like, I think, like, neutral quality catgirl lore is there's a planet where catgirls live and we went there and here they are. That's how a lot of sci-fi with catgirls does it. My favorite one is in a game called Valhalla, in which, and this one's super sick. Okay. In our brains, I'm jailbreaking that bitch. Absolutely. Gamers playing a game like World War II 1942 be like, why are that game so political these days? Whenever people bring that discussion up, my first comment is always, gay people existing in your story is not political. Gay people existing is not political. Trans people existing is not political. It's simply a fact of life. Them not existing is weird. Hydrate? Yeah, we'll do. Types of anarchists want no rules, others want hierarchy, take them out, yeah, but make it times hard, many words have many meanings. Absolutely. Yes, I agree 100%. Anyway, Valhalla, cyberpunk bartending action. Really great game, really great sci-fi game, I might add, because it's actually really well done and thought out and explained. The reason why catgirls exist in that world is there was a horrible disease that was spreading. It was a virus that was killing infants. And parents were given the option before their infants were born to have the embryos injected with a section of cat DNA that would bond to them. And basically cats were immune to this disease. And if you splice out the human part of the human gene that gets affected by the disease and replace it with the cat genes, it stops the people from dying. And as a natural consequence, cartilage deposits grow on top of the child's head, forming cat ears, but they don't function as cat ears. They're simply flaps of cartilage that have hair growing on them. Give me the cat girl virus. It's not a cat girl virus, it's the virus that fucking kills you, and the only cure is cat girl, or cat boy. A lot of people in that world, most people in that world have undergone this treatment. However, their parents will sometimes have their ears clipped off before they fully develop, similar to getting a circumcision, so that their children don't have to look different or be made fun of. Evil hydrate, juice me up, will do. Hell yeah, my last Jello shot, I'm so excited. Cat girl virus, because in Warhammer, cat people exist in Warhammer. They're called felinids. But oh boy, this Jello melted. Oh, it's gonna be fun. Ugh. Cheers. Oh boy, that was nasty. Catgirl clones, 40k. Yeah, the felinids, they are mutated humans. Basically, they're just people that grew up on a world in which those genetic traits were required to survive. So they grew a thick layer of fur, increased muscle mass. Oh yeah, catgirls in 40k are insane. Or cat people in 40k are insane. Because they're like they look like humans, but they have a thin, translucent layer of fur. They have cat ears, of course, instead of human ears. They have iron hard and razor sharp talons on their hands and feet, and they have increased muscle mass. They are way stronger than your average human. So if you want muscular cat women, like if you want Sans, sorry, not Sans, how do you fucking pronounce it? Sans from, not from Undertale. God damn it, I'm an idiot. Oh, my brain, I got dumb brain. If you want Sans from Dragon Ball, but with like, you know, cat features instead of monkey features, fucking 40k's got you covered. One thing I love to think about is what if humans evolved from a different animal instead of apes. Abso-fucking-lutely! I love thinking of that concept. Require leopard mommy. I hope you get one. Let me know if you get one. Text me if you find one. Like that lady, like that one Batman villain. Not Catgirl, but the other one. All weaponry in this area is blessed by the Holy Emperor. Requisition against Imperial threats. Fuck yes. Just what we need. Got a plasma gun, got a shotty, got a bolt gun. 8-foot monster mommy, required leopard mommy. I'll be honest, I have been playing a female orc in World of Warcraft for the last few weeks. I've been playing on a private server, Wrath of the Lich King. And I'm kind of in love with my own 40k character. Muscular, I'm thirsting for a muscular orc GF right now. That's what I got on the brain. That's my monster mommy of choice. Not 40k orc, but like, you know, Warhammer orcs, so they're a bit more human. Woo! I just splattered that fucker. That was sick. Bye, Nurgling. Alright, that's a plague drone. We'll worry about him in a second. Alright, he's done. Grab some health. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and grab ourselves some health. Not just physical changes, but also mental. Yeah, absolutely. One of the most fun concepts I like to think about is, like, yeah, what if chimpanzees didn't live on? And they instead died, and instead birds, you know, birds became the evolutionary standard, and they were challenged in such a way that they had to gain a higher intelligence and use tools like we did. Because ultimately, that's what gave mankind their edge over other life forms and allowed them to evolve and reproduce as rapidly as they did. Their high sex drive, plus their need to survive in the first place, allowed them to grow as fast as they did and as intelligent as they did. The other thing that humans have a strength over that other animals didn't was empathy. Our ability to work together and cooperate really gave us a lot of power. And so if I'm trying to think of another race that would have had that, or another species that could have had that would allow us to evolve. Maybe dogs. Dogs would have been a good one. The way that dogs are loyal and they move in packs. The other issue, though, is that if you weren't sufficiently challenged enough as a species and could just reproduce rapidly, you would never have to worry about, like, there would never be any evolution. Like, rats, rabbits, cats, dogs. The fact that very few children could be buried by a single ape at any given time led to a situation in which the only way you could survive to reproduce is if you had certain select genetic traits. So yeah, it is kind of crazy how it all worked out. I love how when you get into melee range with this champion, they just start swinging. It's great. Hello. Goodbye. Oh god, Terminators, fuck me. Alright, grab some health. Hurting real bad right here. I need some ammo and some health. What do we do if happen if reptiles instead? We'd have Argonians. Have an unmatched evolutionary advantage, which caused our brains to grow bigger and denser. Yeah, the biggest advantage we had was being able to use tools, of course, that was a big one. But the other thing is that how our information traveled. Like, one group of cavemen would figure something out, and if that died with them, it wouldn't matter to the whole species. The biggest strength we had was cooperation. There's this wonderful, wonderful history book called Humankind, A Hopeful History that basically talks about how the reason humans survived and evolved the way they did wasn't because of us being the strongest or the meanest, but because we were the nicest and the most willing to cooperate with one another. And we were really good at unifying against a common enemy. That was the other idea, is that we were the most cooperative and the most racist, which is why humanity survived. That was part of it. Sorry, most human societies viewed top gender in society. What if we evolved from hyenas, though? Where do females dominate over males? Cooked food caused us to lose the ability to digest raw food, which gave our brains more energy to grow. Yeah, that one's actually true. Misty, the situation with that one's actually quite interesting. So, what if I told you that the foundation of a Yo! Need hyena GF. I got you, man. I understand you. Sorry. Interrupted. Bim to bippity beep beep, bim to bippity beep. Sorry, Jingle resubscribed. I'm gonna change that back to its old sound effect. I love the frog theme, don't get me wrong, but wait, did that actually play for you guys, that loud-ass song? Alright, well, if it didn't, I'll need to fix it. I will be sure to change it back to the old theme when I get the chance. Because before it was just the Witcher level up sound, and I think I need to change it back now. Oh god, that's embarrassing. Oh man, so yeah, what ended up happening there is that it played the fucking Chrono Trigger frog theme really loud. That's what that was. Anyway, now that my ears have been thoroughly destroyed, and I've thoroughly embarrassed myself. Misty, what if I told you the reason why we have gender roles is not because of, the reason why society exists in the form it does today is because of sociopathy. It's because of sociopaths. And basically just people without emotions. And I don't mean that in the, like, all businessmen are evil sort of way. I mean that in a... Okay, so the way it worked is once upon a time, we all lived together. Nobody had any property. No one owned anything. Humans were nomadic, right? And I'm talking about normal humans, not like chimpanzees or Cro-Magnon or any like that. Humans were nomadic, like when you use the capsule. That's a good idea, I might do that. So humans were originally nomadic. They all worked together. And the idea of a man and a woman just being together and that being all there is, monogamy, wasn't a thing. The way it worked is that the group would raise the child. And so the lady would have sex with whoever she wanted to have sex with, have a kid, and then all the men would work together to raise that child through cooperation. It was basically like one big hippie commune, and that was existence. And so what happened after that was that, you know, people were doing their own thing, they were all living together, and then a little thing happened. I try to remember exactly what it was, but basically there was a massive flood that caused all of mankind to be isolated to a small area. And from there, they had to live off of farmland. This is where agriculture started to develop. Or a form of agriculture started to develop. And basically people all lived there, they lived together. And what happened was small groups of people started to control, basically they started to own the land. So this guy goes, oh, this is my land. These guys, I give them food and they will fight to protect my land. If you want my land, give me your women. And that's basically how it worked, is that instead of it being a village raising a child, a man would raise a child and have many women, many different female partners. So it shifted the other direction. And now all these men don't have women to do anything with. So instead they begin, well, they begin mating with animals. And that's how we got the first sexually transmitted diseases. And ultimately, from that point on, the people that were in power held their power and continued to grow. And this pattern repeated itself across society. And it's the idea that basically the people who did this were the first sociopaths. People who naturally had no empathy and who craved for nothing more but power and they're furthering their own goals in society. And so that's why the world exists the way it does today, and why gender roles exist the way they do, is because once upon a time, a few crazy assholes ruined it for everyone else. Now, there are such things existing in chimpanzees, unlimited power, yeah, basically. But early humans were nomadic, and they were very kind to each other, and that's the thing, that's what makes us unique compared to chimpanzees, is that we have naturally evolved empathy and sympathy. And of course, other animals have that, but humans have it to a level that animals don't. For example, look at our faces, look at our eyes. Humans have the roundest and most expressive faces of any animal. They can make a myriad of different facial expressions because recognizing those facial expressions is necessary to working alongside people. Same thing goes for our eyes. Our eyes, we have the largest white part of our eye than any other animal that exists, so that other humans can see which way our eyes are going and read our expressions. White sclera too, thank you. Yeah, that's what. We can see gender roles. We can see 2 gender roles and 2 other herds. Interesting. But, and so one of the other strengths that we have is reading facial expressions, sympathy, empathy, that kind of thing. There was another thing I was trying to think of, but I am forgetting. So this whole thing might just peter out and this might be the end of it. But, shit, what was it? We can understand each other, we can communicate. Yeah, but basically, all gaining of human power throughout history, and the reason why we evolved rapidly, was built off of love, ultimately. And the only reason why society formed is because of fucking sociopaths ruining it for everyone else. We're the only animals that ever formed a proper language for the most part. I mean, chimpanzees are pretty close, but we're also one of the rare species that are actually self-aware. Human is extremely well designed, reading facial expressions over their faces. So good at this. We have faces like anything like a man in the moon. Yeah, because, like, here's the thing. If you look at us, if you look at humans, for instance, what makes us better than any other creature? Other than, you could say, like, oh, we're smarter. Nah, not really. There are animals that learn faster than we do. They just don't have the means of expression of those thoughts. Like, there's many animals that are smarter than us, they just don't have the physical traits necessary to express what they know. I couldn't think of exact examples, but there's also animals that are way more specialized. They're stronger, faster animals, smarter animals. But why are we on top? And it's because of cooperation and love, family, that idea. Yeah, like the humanity in its current state, we are depriving ourselves of our natural, what we've naturally evolved for. You could be saying, it's like, oh, maybe we've re-evolved for our current status. No, we haven't. Evolution happens extremely slowly, and we haven't got there yet. Maybe after a couple thousand years, we'll all evolve into cruel, unfeeling, uncaring lizards like society wants us to. But for now, the state we're living in is not good for us. Like, here's the thing that I find fascinating. Again, one child care falls on the male, the other a female. Yep. And it's specifically less people able to contribute to the child's life. What was I going to say? People in the world that are nomadic, people that travel, like, it's something that you'll see with people that travel a lot is they feel happier. They feel more fulfilled. And it's because we're naturally nomadic. We weren't meant to live in one space. We were meant to travel the world and see things and expand our knowledge. That's why when you're a child, time feels like it's going slower, because you are constantly processing new information. You're constantly gaining new knowledge, and that's fun, and that feels good. And you're living in the moment because it feels a lot better. Yeah, exactly. Different behaviors, different situations. Maglev Freight Rails connects the Imperium outposts in this area. Make use of them to find the vault entrance. You must move quickly. Chaos forces are already searching the valley. It's interesting to me how that all started. And again, I recommend the book Humankind: A Hopeful History that's about this concept. The entire book is basically about debunking the notion that power is what matters most and survival of the fittest is what is meant to survive, not through a soft-hearted, like, philosophical stance, but through hard science and history, which I think is really interesting. Heresy. But at the same time, people that go over to Africa, people that spend a lot of times in wild parts of the world are often happier. My grandpa was in Vietnam, and him and a lot of other veterans that I've talked about, they, not that they want to go back, they don't want to experience the war again, but if they have anything good to say about Vietnam, it was about the country itself. It was about being in the jungle and stuff. A lot of, there was an entire generation of people in the 1930s and 40s, sorry, the 1920s and 30s that went to Africa and just disappeared. There was a bunch of white dudes who went over there. They're like, oh my God, I'm so happy because I'm home, you know? I'm at the cradle of civilization. I'm away from all that extra bullshit I thought I needed, but I don't really need. And it's like, all right, well, Alex, if you believe these things, why don't you get up and go? I could, yes, but I've already built up power here. And ultimately, there's really a couple different ways you can make it in life. Sure, I could risk it. I could claim my freedom just by going out and becoming homeless, you know, just becoming a wandering vagrant in the forest. However, ultimately, there's other ways to achieve that goal that don't require me to just give up all my earthly possessions. For example, getting rich. If you're rich, you can go where in the world you want. That's why rich people are so happy. Like, oh shit, I can just fly to Asia. Bye, guys. We have taken a natural right that all humans used to possess and limited to a very small portion. Diaspora exists. What is diaspora? That's my first time hearing about it. Maybe hydrate. Thank you, Witty. I need it. I need it. But yeah. I think and there's aspects of it we can still capture, you know. Dispersion and spread of people from their original homeland. Interesting. So you think that if you return, you'll feel some sort of, like, enlightenment. That's a possibility. Oh, shit, fuck. Got you, bitch. Alright, you're done. aka feeling at home in your original ethnic homeland. I wish to occasionally just disappear for a couple weeks. No modern world, no nothing, just me in the woods and no one around me. That sounds wonderful. I wish I had the... I wish I was financially stable enough to do that. And that's my problem, is I've set down roots. I've made myself part of the... And it's something that every person's going to do, is they've made themselves part of society, for lack of a better word. They've made themselves part of the world. All you can do now is acquire... And if you want to continue living there, the only future that is offered to you is one in which you acquire as much power as possible and eventually give offspring, you know. And of course, there's more to life than just that. There's more to life than just gaining money or power or whatever equivalent to power you have in your country. It might just be wealth, it might be fame, it might be social standing, it could be anything, but ultimately living in society is about acquiring power. Not military might in such a way, but the idea that something that puts you above other people, you know? And my goal is to do that. My goal is to kind of multi-class. I want to kind of gain as much power as I can while still helping those I care about and making the world a better place. And that's ultimately the middle ground I've settled on. But I don't know, maybe one day I'll be given the opportunity to just disappear from the world and return to nature, and I'll be able to do that. You can't deny that we are living in an environment. At the end of the day, it's like, all right, well, you may disagree with the way society functions, but you do live in a society. You have to work with the boundaries of your environment. His goal is to become a Sith Lord. A Sith Lord? But the idea is that, like, you can't just be in the forest like, man, fuck these trees. I'm not gonna eat anything from these trees, because then you'll just die, you know? I could be like, man, fuck money. I don't agree with the existence of money. I'm just gonna go poor, but I still gotta live, man. I can't just die. I need to... There's shit I need to accomplish in order to thrive in this environment I'm now living in. We're not disconnected from our environment, of course. I was never attached to the ethnic issues. Okay. Me neither, really. I don't really think yeah, exactly. I don't really have a homeland to return to. I see myself as American, and it's complicated being American, we'll just say that. It's not fun being the supervillain. It's not fun being part of the supervillain country that everyone fucking hates. Ooh, new gun modification. Yo, hey TJ, good to see you. Oh, let me actually scroll up. I think my scroll wheel's busted. Hold on. They was asking me, why can't we make everything free? I asked them who's going to make their electricity, who's going to take away their garbage, who's going to get aluminum for their car, their phone. Yeah, you can't make everything free. That's the problem with that. The end goal should eventually be that, and there are things I think we can make free, but we're nowhere near. Like, personally, for me, I believe that luxuries should be taxed immensely, and the things we need should be paid for by those taxes. Like, a luxury car, or a boat, or a video game, or a movie... I'd love a mouse. That sounds wonderful. Or anything we don't actually need to survive should be a lot more expensive, and the extra expense should pay for the things we actually need. The cars that rich people buy and the mansions that rich people build should pay for my ability to go to therapy. That's the idea. Large animal species all over the world. When humans started to migrate from Africa, we hunted those large animals to extinction. This is because they didn't evolve around us and were ill suited to live around us. This is also why... Okay. Interesting. That's rad. No problem, man. I want a mouse. Many countries... 400 years in that place. What's that mean? Yeah, exactly. Africa's the #1 example I think of when it comes to that witty, where you have, like... You look at... like, white people living in Africa, and it's like, oh, they're not Africans. Like, yeah, they are. They've been there for 200 plus years. Here's the thing. If you were born in a country, you were of that country. That's all there is to it. It doesn't matter who was there before, or how long you were there, what your parents did. I don't get it. German called the mouse that is 1880T. Oh no. Even milk kind of makes sense. German tank. Oh, I thought you were talking about... Okay, I thought you were talking about the wonderful comic book known as Mouse, which is one of my favorites. Fantastic historical novel. By the way, if you guys saw the link there to our Discord and you haven't joined yet, be sure to do that. Discord's a really poppin' place, and it's where all my announcements happen. You get to hang out with these fine people more, too. But, yeah, it's the idea that I'd love for certain things to be free, but not everything can be free. And then you get to the problem of, like, the number one question you can ask about any political angle is who's going to make that happen? It's like, oh, you know, everyone will have what they... Oh, everyone will offer what they can do to... will give what they can and take what they need. All right, who's going to make sure that's happening? Are they incorruptible? Are they going to be the ones who are guaranteed to make that happen? If they aren't, can we vote them out of office? Vanguard Theory, I believe it's called. And that's something that they explore in Animal Farm, if you've ever read that. Fantastic book, by the way. Oh god, that's not what I thought would happen! But yeah, Vanguard Theory, the idea that, like, alright, well, someone's got to have power over the society. Let's give it to this guy temporarily before people learn to govern themselves, you know? And a lot of people don't like stepping down. AKA Joseph Stalin. Biggest example I can think of. Jesus Christ. Ah! Fuck politics, I'll just send the mouse. That was awesome. Costco kind of does it. Mustn't never be very patriotic. Like, yeah, that's fair. Oh, some people, it's a good idea to learn my place. Yeah, I disagree with that. People think that about me too. Like, oh God, patriotism is something that I can never get behind when it comes to America. Genetically Romanian, that's not my ethnicity. People don't tell me to go back to Romania because it's not where my mother, me, or my father are from. Yeah. That's fair. I'm also never going to be very patriotic. Costco kind of does it, though. They sell giant stuff wholesale, make money, then have membership. Jingle just wants to buy large amounts of beef. Can even work in capitalism. That reminds me, do you know that Stalin's granddaughter is still alive and she's a Buddhist anarchist? That's awesome. In theory, I'm ethnically the same, but people know better. That's fucked, man. I don't know. I have never been in a situation where a person has one-on-one judged me for my skin color that I know of. I mean, everyone does it silently in their heads, of course. It's something that we're gonna have to naturally overcome with time. Our natural racial biases. However, I've never actually run into conflict outright because of it. Mr. Mouse, what do you think? Mouse, bang. I have run into gender issues, though. I have run into situations where I'm mistreated because I'm a man. It's called being raised by... It's called being in the same car as your aunt, your mother, and your grandmother on a long road trip. That's what that's called. Or being in a relationship. But not this one. This one's good. It's very fair to both of us. Very equitable, which I'm very happy about. But yeah, life's complicated, man. I think that's the takeaway from this whole conversation, is that life is extremely complicated and there's no just outright answers that everyone knows. We may never find all the answers, but working to do so is worth it. There's basic ideas to avoid, for instance, like, if you ever find yourself doing something and someone challenges you and your response is the ends justify the means, maybe stop what you're doing immediately. That's something you should definitely stop and reassess, you know? Because the problem with saying the ends justify the means is that you don't know what the ends are going to be. No one does. I think the ends justify the means as a statement is nonsense, and it comes from a place of arrogance, because it's like, no one can see the future. Like, I don't know, people quote that shit from The Prince, the Machiavelli book, The Prince, and it's like, yeah, you may like how that sounds, but if you think about it, it doesn't make any goddamn sense. Because ultimately, when people are in power, it doesn't mean that they're like, oh, they made it because they, you know, they did their own will to power and they knew that the ends justify the means, they didn't get caught up in petty morals. No, they got lucky. Power is based off of luck. Hitler got lucky. Damn, my spelling. Animal North America, naturally combat against humans, but oh damn, that sucks. Thy life is a riddle, bear rapture and sorrow, to listen, to suffer, to entrust into tomorrow. Wow, I'm like, oh man, what book is that? And then I'm reading halfway through, I'm like, that's Answers. That's the opening to Final Fantasy 14. That is oh my god, that is a great game. Okay, 14's all about that concept. The idea that like, it's about a bunch of characters working together to make the world a better place. And yes. And the idea, my trusted email would like to have a word. That is fair. But like, yeah, Final Fantasy 14 is all about that concept. The idea that like fighting to make the world a better place is not simple. It is very, very, very complicated, and it requires a lot of self-awareness and awareness of the world itself. It is, oh god, I think it's the only game I can think of that it's actually like does something with that I'm aware of. Because like games like, there's a lot of games about playing with politics. There are very few games in which your goal is to be the good guy, and the story is all about working to accomplish that over a long, long period of time, and all the complications and political messiness that's there. Sorry, I paused the game to take a drink, but now I'm just like nutting over Final Fantasy 14's story. Man, I wish that game had more voice acting. I wish that I could be a part of a single guild that would actually support me and help me get further into the game, rather than just telling me not to do the content I want to do.
I came
Looking for booty. There's a health power up there. I want it. Gimme. All right, cool. We're done. We done here. Booty. I came looking for booty. I hope you guys have enjoyed the stream so far. See the world in black and white. You haven't crossed the line before, or you haven't crossed the line before. Yeah, exactly. Like, that's my other thing is I don't think, like, it's all shades of gray, absolutely. And I think another thing you can be aware of, similar to someone trying to change the world, is you should immediately be aware of someone whose goal in life is to right wrongs. Anyone whose goal in life is to enforce their morality upon other people, immediately be suspicious of them, because that shit is you're only ranked 60. You know, you can get rank up, you gotta gamble to move up in the world. It's the only way. Social commentary. Yay, nice work, Jingle. You did it. You moved up in the world, just like real life. You gotta gamble. I don't mean that for real, by the way. Oof. Sorry, TJ, you should have bet more money. You probably would have done it then. I'm an enabler. Maglev, located in Imperial records on this technology, available from Administratum, Curator Landley. Alright, I'll have to ask him about it after we're done. Go fuck thyself. No! Okay. So I gotta pick my targets. I'll wait for them to get closer. Alright, how do I get out of this one? Damn it. Oh, hello! I'm dead, I'm dead, I'm dead, I'm dead. Damn it, I'm out of plasma shots. Alright, here we go. Alright, sorry. Good fan right now, but it turned off over the heat. Snipebot #1, OMG. Hell yeah, I used to be #1. I used to rule the world. Seas would rise when you gave the word. And in the mornings you sleep alone. That game gave me a feeling I haven't in a long time, being a hero friend to others. Maybe the story is simple, but everything works great. I need to finish it, man. It's been so hard to get through. It's been so hard to get through. I'll have to get back to it. Right now I've been just pouring time into World of Warcraft. But yeah, fucking great stream so far, guys. Thank you so much for keeping me company. I'm glad to see you're winning. Damn it, I need ammunition. They're moving up on me too. Oh, hey, what's this? Hey, look at that. This is what I need. MTV Cribs WoW Edition. I love the idea of different animals gaining sentience. Love to write a book set in a world like that. Absolutely. That is a wonderful concept. Mount collection, including your... Hey! I don't have a mount collection in WoW. I'm right now trying to work up to getting my first mount. I'm playing Wrath of the Lich King, which is an older expansion of the game. I don't have any nostalgia for it, I just really enjoy that expansion. I played on a bunch of private servers for a bunch of different expansions, and that's the one I kind of fell in love with, so it's the one that I'm playing. My favorite version of the game. I'm glad. Oh, Champion just fucking blindsided me. Nice work, Champion. Oh my god, why did it start me here? Why just start me in Fucktown? Slots. Yeah, if you haven't yet, be sure to join the Discord. I'm just saying that again because, you know, it's kind of our main place we hang out. It's kind of the base camp for all this shit. Oh, fuck. Whew. Alright, I need health really bad. Let's grab this ammo pickup. Alright, where's the big guy at? Life is a hurricane here in Life is like a hurricane here in Duckburg. Race cars, lasers, airplanes. It's a duck blur. You might solve a mystery or rewrite history. DuckTales, ooh woo. Every day we're out here making DuckTales, ooh woo. Dun ba dun dun. Danger, watch behind you, cause there's a stranger out to find you. Do what to do, just grab onto some DuckTales, ooh woo. Ah, fuck you! Da-na-na-na-na-na-na, DuckTales, ooh. Oh, I love DuckTales. I need to watch the reboot. I've heard it's fucking phenomenal. And it looks great, too. It's got some really good voice actors I'm a fan of, too. Need to give it a watch. Fox is based on culture of humans exist in their natural habits. Right, they with a much more darker, grimmer tone. Yeah, that sounds neat. Animal people have a lot of potential for storyline shit. I wish they didn't have the bad rap that they do. Oh, hey, infighting. Shoot him. Shoot him, Chaos Space Marine. Yeah, get him. Get him. Don't look at me. There's a Terminator over there, asshole. You didn't even care about your own survivability, douchebag. This is, by the way, this is very canonically accurate. Chaos guys are really into team killing. Actually, there are very few franchises in 40k that aren't. The three duck fucks meet their mom. What exactly did they mean by rewrite history? Oh man, we gotta really help. We gotta help this, aw, damn it. Did I fuck up? No, I didn't fuck up. We got, what was it, Prussian painter? I think is, oh shit, hold on. There's a thing there. Hey, Kraken Boltgun magazine. We gotta help Hitler learn how to paint. Duck fucks. Fuck fails, ooh. Jesus. Because of a certain group. Hey man, furries aren't like Oh no, furries aren't terrorists. We can just say furries. Und this Hans are the paint brushes. That was terrible. I apologize for any Germans in the audience. Ah, boy. Does he? I apologize for any Germans in the audience? What the fuck, Alex? I meant two. Jesus. Fuck fails. Ah. Damn it. Oh, damn, that Kraken Bolter just melts those dudes. Maybe I should do that next time. Hello. As a Dutchman, I should know. Oh man, there's a location where I live called Dutch Village, and it's like a Dutch theme park. If you are actually Dutch, I need to take pictures of it next time I go and ask you how accurate it is to Dutchland. Don't look at me. Being German is illegal on Alex's stream. It's not true. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me with the amount of fascist imagery that's in 40K. And how, like, the closest thing the protagonists we have in this setting are literally worse than Hitler. God, like, yeah, the Space Marines are, like, humanity in 40K is so evil. What's up as a furry? And I don't really see myself as anyone anymore. Damn. Witty, you're a nice furry, so is Frusenfrucht. I don't know. I don't think I've ever met a bad furry. I think a lot of their fetishes are kind of weird. But I mean, it's the internet. There's weird fetishes. I don't know what is there to say. As long as it ain't hurting no one. Alright, switching over to the plasma gun. Oh, fuck me. Right, I guess I'm going back up. Fucking Chaos Champions, man. Ruining my fun. Oh, shit, no. Alright, there we go. There we go, go. Hey, my friend! Heavy Bolter, dearest of all of my friends. All the single furries is goated, and I'm tired of pretending it's not. I don't know, man. They gave us Usagi Yojimbo. They gave us Sonic Fox. They gave us lots of good shit. I'm just saying, man. They gave us Robin Hood. They gave us that fantastic clip in fucking... not Arrested Development, but Community, in which the guy is just like looking at the computer and there's like the naked man painted up to look like a dog, and the guy is just like, I hope this doesn't awaken something in me. Oh, I love that bit so much. Still a fan of Anthro animals. I just don't see myself as part of the furry fandom anymore. I don't either. I never have. This cat avatar is not a furry thing. It's literally my cat. Like, breaking all kayfabe here. I wanted the cat to kind of be a mascot of the channel for just like for profile pictures and stuff. But then I wanted to work the VTuber angle, so I got fan art commissioned of my cat as like a cool lady. And here I am. Commission fan art of your cat. Become a furry. Lore master. Breaking kayfabe, totally, but like, yeah, man, that's the reason for the cat. I need to make like a TikTok video just titled "Why the Cat," so people know that's like, hey, okay, listen, it's not a furry thing. So many people call me a furry and tell me to kill myself in my comment section, and I'm like, one, what the fuck? Two, no, and also three, I'm not a furry. I honestly, I'll just clip this shit. Like, that's not my. I'm not a furry. I commissioned art of my cat, my actual cat. And then it got out of hand. It was just gonna be my mascot, and then it became my avatar, and now here I am, role-playing as my own cat. Fandom's this funny thing. In theory, I'm a fan of fantasy, but I never feel a part of my country fantasy fandom. Yeah, same. I'm a fan of D&D, but I don't really talk to a lot of D&D fans. That's the cool thing about 40K is that that's the most honestly, being a 40K fan is the most unity I've ever felt in a single fandom that I've ever been in. Alright, you're done. Ah, fuck me. Yeah, for the most part, same here. Honestly, my own community is... The reason why this kind of exists is I kind of felt like an outsider everywhere else. And this is like the first time... Oh my god! You're talking about some people assuming someone's a furry. Yeah, people keep thinking... People think I'm a furry for some reason. I don't know why. I keep getting really mean comments about it. Ah, right? Yeah. For me, it was like being... Honestly, there was a time where I was hanging out with a bunch of furries that were really nice people, and I'm like, hey guys, I find these specific characters to be sexy. Am I a furry? They're like, no. Like, alright, well, I have this little avatar I play as on stream, but it's not like my persona or anything. It's just like a character that I kind of play as. I don't know. I don't consider it my persona because it's like... It's my cat's persona, if anything. It's just, it's funny how it all worked out, you know? The problem is, if I want to continue, okay, let's say I get really popular, right? Hypothetically, it'll never happen, but let's say I get hyper popular. Whoops, let me roll to determine first impression. My charisma is 7, so pretty high unless I critically fail. I'm Archduke Wibbles the Fourth, by the way. That's pretty good. My middle name doesn't help the allegations at school. That works out pretty well. How furry I would define a fan of anthropomorphic animal. Yeah, I've heard people find, like, if you're a fan of anthropomorphic animals, you're a furry, apparently, according to some people. It's not a consistent theme I run into over and over again in things that I like or create, so I'm not like obsessed with the concept. Just because a character is an animal person doesn't mean I'm gonna like fall in love with them. It depends. Like anthro animals, see yourself as a furry. Yeah, exactly. It's about self. A lot of it's about self-definition. It's like, do you see yourself as a furry? Yeah, I feel like that's the final qualifier. Hup! If you don't see yourself as that, then you're not that. All right, we're gonna go ahead and jump over to this thing. This is really cool. Yeah, that sums it up perfectly. It ultimately comes down to self-determination and definition. And I don't see myself as that, so I don't think I'm that. But then again, the kind of people who say that shit in my comment section aren't exactly going to be dissuaded. Or they're not going to be like, oh yeah, I guess he doesn't see himself as a furry. I guess he's not one. You don't have to kill yourself now, Alex. Like, oh, thanks, guys. I'm glad we could clear that matter up. Like, that's not going to fucking happen. All furries are fans of anthro animals. Absolutely, yeah, that sums it up. It's type of anthro fan. Oh shit! God damn it! I did it again.
Now you fucked up.
Now you fucked up.
You have fucked up now.
I certainly have.
Now you fucked up.
Yep.
Now you fucked up.
Now you fucked up. Calm down. Calm down. Love that kind of affirmation. I guess I'm just gonna drop down. No, it's just being an anthro fan is like is not a subcategory of furry. Being a furry is a subcategory of anthro fan. Like, if you really like the movie Robin Hood, you're not a furry. But if you wanna plow Little John from the Disney version of Robin Hood, you might be a furry. Imagine, like, that would be much better. Exactly. It's a subcategory. It's like rectangles and squares. All right, calm down. You get a pet for each ear. How about that? What? What? Oh, I get it now. You're a funny guy, Blue Wolf. You're a funny guy. What? Okay. I can't do the voice when I've been drinking. That's the fucked up thing about drinking on stream, is that all my voices get fucked up by alcohol consumption. What? I can't. It's tough. That was a drastic measure. What was a drastic measure? Having my ears painted? Or petted? Oh, you weren't doing a Lil Jon reference. You were You were actually referring to what I said. Okay. Alright. That's funny how that works out. Yeah, exactly. That's my thing with fandoms as well, is it's like, I've seen way too much cultish behavior from fandom people to be like, I don't know, to be into that idea, the idea of fandom. I think a lot of things are called communities when they're not actually communities. And a lot of things that are communities aren't considered communities. It's tough to, I guess it's tough to explain, because it's like, a lot of people liking the same shit, but not really talking to each other or communicating. That's not a community. That's just a group of people that all like the same thing. Also, I did it again. I am so sorry. I'm just tired of this fucking lift. Sorry, I'm not that funny. Ah, well, no worries. Anyway, yeah, this has been a blast. It's been really good. We should talk about shit like this more often. Oh, man. What are your guys' thoughts on gatekeeping? I personally believe you shouldn't try to keep people out of a community, but I think there's a certain time where if something gets popular enough, if something gets popular enough, it loses what made it special. For example, growing up, I was very geeky. I liked specific things that would get me made fun of in school, and then those things went on to become super popular. People who liked them would then refer to themselves as geeks for having geeky interests. I was not a fan of that because I felt like I had earned it, whereas they didn't. I'm so fucking sick of this level. Ah, fuck me. Like, the idea that they didn't earn it. I guess it's more just like looking at someone and going, you're not the same as me. Get back here, you fucking elevator. No, anyone in my home. That's fair. That's fair. I guess for me, I try to do something which is the opposite of gatekeeping, I guess, which is I try to influence people's interests. What is Warhammer fandom? I meet terrifying people who love Warhammer and some cool. It's just people who like the same thing and are willing to talk about it, ultimately, is what a fandom is. They create fan art and stuff. Creative works. There was a video I watched by this person that I don't really like all that much because they're one of those people that's always trying to save the world. Like, they can't talk about a topic for 10 fucking minutes without it turning into some sort of soapbox for a political opinion they have. But they made a good point about, like, geek fandom. And it's that, a fandom, if it's about anything, should be less about consumption and more about creation. Like, a fandom should try to create creative works. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly how I feel about it, where it's like, when I get people into Warhammer, I don't, like, I'll a lot of times guide them in certain directions that I personally enjoyed. Or Halo Wars don't really get it. Yeah. Or they don't understand it in the way that you do. Like, yeah, it's interesting to me. For example, like, let's say I wanted to get someone into Warhammer, I'd go like, all right, well, if you want to get into Warhammer, you should check out these games. You should check out Adeptus Ridiculous, which is a wonderfully funny, delightful Warhammer podcast that goes over lore in such a way that newbies are meant to understand it. And once you know enough about it, you should check out, once you feel comfortable enough, you should check out Luton. Luton does a really good job of explaining Warhammer stuff, and then check out Arch Warhammer, who gets really down into the specifics and the nitty-gritty of the universe in a very sci-fi way, which I think is super sick. Star Wars. Star Wars is a big one. If anybody says, hey, I'm not getting into Star Wars, what should I do first? And I go, all right, well, first you should watch the original trilogy and see if you like it. And then after that, you can watch the prequels and then watch Clone Wars and go from there. Or you should just play Knights of the Old Republic. Yeah. All that matters is Krieg. Yeah, well, I mean, hey, episode 1 of Adeptus Ridiculous, Death Core of Krieg. You can definitely check that out. It's the first episode they ever did. If you want to know more about them, there you go. The thing with Warhammer is it's so well done that all the lore is, like, intricately connected to everything else. It does an amazing job of making you feel like you're in that world. Oh, here's an example. I'm playing a lot of World of Warcraft right now. Do I recommend you go and you buy... if you wanted to get into World of Warcraft, would I recommend you go and buy a subscription to the currently existing game? No! I'd link you to a torrent site and to a private server, because that's how I play the game and enjoy it, you know? I'm in a lot of fandoms, to be honest. Yeah, I mean, I am too, technically. Yeah, like, I guess for me is it's, like, don't try to make people see things the way you see things, but put your perspective out there so someone could learn from it, you know? Want to get into Stalker? Then, well, once I finish the game, I'll let you know if the way I picked it was good. But, yeah. That's sort of thing I think about a lot, because I grew up with a lot of people that were very, like, not into things I did, and a lot of my consistent struggle would be to get them into it so that they could understand me a bit better. And, like, I learned very quickly, like, alright, how do I break this down into its simplest form so that people can consume it easily? Playing WoW too much, never again. That's fair. Like, yeah, for WoW, it's like, okay, look, here's a link to a private server for Wrath of the Lich King. It's the best and most, like, I guess it's the easiest version of the game to get into because it doesn't have the bloat of the later game, of the latest version of the game, but it also doesn't have the super simplistic difficulty that vanilla World of Warcraft has. Because vanilla World of Warcraft is fucking really difficult to get into, whereas Wrath of the Lich King is the point in the game where they started thinking about the player experience, and just like it's the peak version of that game in my opinion. Warhammer, just honestly, Warhammer and Star Wars are pretty simple, which is just here's a good Warhammer game, here's a good Star Wars game, here's a good Warhammer show, book, movie, whatever, just a good piece of media that you can understand, you know? I personally don't think we should stop new people from getting into something. What we should avoid, though, and we should provide context, I guess. Where it's like, I don't know, I haven't really seen a lot of mistreatment of Warhammer as a fandom, other than that one guy who was a literal Nazi, but like, I don't know, it's kind of like just existing in life as well as just for trying to provide your own influence without causing harm. Lord of the Rings, watch the original animated Hobbit movie, and then watch the Peter Jackson Lord of the Rings movies. If you enjoy those, rewatch those movies, but watch the extended edition. And then here's some games. Someone told me the Halo series is MacGuffin paradise, but they destroy the MacGuffins every time they find them, so it keeps the storyline stable. I kind of agree. Yeah, absolutely. That's really cool. That's actually something really fun about Halo. Here's a bad... yeah, Halo was actually way more difficult for me to get into than I thought it was. Because I thought it was just going to be playing the games, which it was to a point, but it was more about like finding what I personally enjoyed about Halo and trying to get more out of that. And the problem with that is the thing that I enjoy about Halo is ostensibly rare. Like, I really like Halo 1, 2, and 3 because they're fun 1, 2, 3, and ODST because they're fun stories about likable characters with a solid beginning, middle, and end where not a lot of it's left up to interpretation or mystery. You don't gotta read books to understand it. Yeah, same here. Good TF2 stuff. Extremely exhausting since everyone kept arguing and they were never happy with anything. Yeah, exactly. Same here. I was in a MMO Discord for a while that was just about general MMOs, and like, there were just people in there that were just meant to argue. That's actually been a fun experiment about playing World of Warcraft. I've been talking a lot in global chat in that game, and everyone is ready to argue and fight on the drop of a hat, and every single time they do, I just will not argue with them. It's been really fun, where it's just like, I'll usually just say, they'll get like really pissed off about a certain topic, and I'll just be like, I'll just announce to global chat where it's like, oh yeah, birds killed Jack's parents. That's why he hates birds so much. Pity him. Like, there was a guy who was talking about demons, and I'm just like, oh man, demons killed John's parents. Like, Mamorpa gobble gobble. Pretty much, yeah, that's exactly what it was like. And more than there's just this one prick there that kept trying to start fights with me. And I remember just like, one time I'm just like, dude, shut up, I don't want to fight with you on this. Not everything I say is an invitation to have an argument. Sometimes I just want to say things. No, that was me. That was the old server before we gutted that shit and got rid of the problematic people. That stream was wild. What stream? Birds killed Jack Sparrow's parents. Oh god, the Fallout fandom is such a mess. Here's a way you can rate fandom toxicity. Can people agree on what makes the thing that they like good? And I think that is the #1 indicator of like when something will become toxic or not. Like Fallout's a great example. Fallout and Halo are my two go-to. Sorry, Fallout, Halo, Star Wars. Those are the big three. Because no one can agree on what makes those things good. The Doki Doki Literature Club fandom is basically dead. I've literally never interacted with them, so that's news to me. There's a fandom for that game? Yeah, Fallout fandom. No one can agree on what makes Fallout good. And you know whose fucking fault that is? That's the developers of Fallout's fault. Be it Obsidian, Blizzard, Black Isle. Because they didn't... Their games aren't consistent. Fallout has so many different focuses from game to game. And it's like... It's a mess. No one can agree on what makes those games good. Same goes for Halo. Same goes for Star Wars. Like, no one can agree on what makes those things good. And because of that... people will naturally disagree and they'll find specific things that they think are good, and that will become the only thing that matters. Like, even people that don't like the same things, you know? I don't like Halo Infinite very much. I talked to another person that doesn't like Halo Infinite, so we'll find a... Aw, TJ, good work, man. Thanks for the help. You gave TJ, Obi sub now, nice. Multiplayer, the fans are a part of the game. Oh, yeah. Same here, man. You cannot play 76 without experiencing the fandom. There you go. Yo, nice. I do the yo thing a lot, don't I? That's funny. All right, upstairs is the extra area. But yeah, it's just... if people can't agree on what makes something good, then shit's just gonna fall apart. You gotta have a strong, unifying understanding of something. That's why the Warhammer fandom's so fucking good. Like, I'm sorry to have to, like, up it like that, but that's what's great about Warhammer, is everyone's, like, everyone's the bad guys, everyone's evil. The story's a bit of a fucking mess, but it's the most interesting sci-fi setting. I want to see violence, and I want to see really dark, ironic, well-written storytelling. Go. You know? What he do? He gave Obi a sub. Can I do a Neko-Arc voice? Yeah. There you go. It's also bad in Fallout because the games are made by whose studios. There's a huge beef and hate between Bethesda fans and Obsidian original Fallout devs. And that one sucks. It sucks to have that beef is terrible because Obsidian does not exist in the way that it existed when it played New Vegas. Just like how Black Isle no longer exists. Just how Bethesda no longer exists. We're attaching value to things that have no value. And we should just, I don't know, ultimately find something to enjoy in each game, but then you run into the shit pile. And the shit pile is when you can't find something to enjoy about a game when the thing that you're supposed to be enjoying literally does not exist and people are just gaslighting themselves. AKA Sea of Thieves, AKA Fallout 76. Just the qualities that people see in those games, I do not think actually exist. I have spent time in those games. I have not found those qualities. I have given them every opportunity, but they do not seem to exist. At the end of the day, they're just not for me. But I genuinely think there comes to be a point where you don't understand why you like this. You're simply gaslighting yourself, and that's that. I just did the same shit twice. Let me fix that. Is Tech Priest tolling up to fix... some engineers showing Tech Priest how to fix shit. Yeah, but the problem is that interaction is going to end with the engineer getting killed. There's actually an entire organization about that concept, and they're known as the Leagues of Votan. They're a bunch of space dwarf engineers. You actually you might really like the Leagues of Votan, actually, DJ. Pit Boy, I love that design. Oh yeah, like the art direction of 76 is really good, but no one's sinking 1,000 hours into that game because they like the way it looks. A lot of it comes down to friends. Like, that's the #1 unifying factor between that and GTA Online and Sea of Thieves, and it's that you made friends there. It's the place where your friends are. As long as your friends are there, you're going to be there. And as long as you're able to make new friends, they'll be there, something for you. And that's awesome, man. I really appreciate that. But even I can admit VR Chat's not a good game. Evil Hydrate? I think I'm out of shit to Evil Hydrate with. I'm gonna have to go mix a drink. Yeah, I honestly wish they would have stuck with the original idea. The idea of Like, oh, hey, we're all working together against the greater foe to cooperate. People, there's no quests. People are just going to cooperate and move in the world. But they didn't design the game right for it. The game's too easy. I might actually play 76 if they had like a hardcore difficulty, but like I tried playing 76 and it was just too fucking easy, and there was nothing to be done about it. And it's not even easy in the way that other Bethesda games are easy. Like Fallout 4 is still a relatively well-balanced game in the beginning. Like there's some difficulty there. Aside from the Deathclaw set pieces aside. What am I doing against this guy? Fuck him. Fandoms think I have a solid grasp makes me think that good TF2 Undertale FNAF and Pokemon. Yeah, I agree. Pokemon's a bit weird because there seems to be two sides of the Pokemon fandom. There is people who like the actual game and people who just like Pokemon. Like for me, I just saw Pokemon as another RPG, and so I didn't really appreciate a lot of the newer titles because I just don't really give a fuck about the Pokemon. I'm there for the fun gameplay, and I actually really like Pokemon's gameplay. But some people are just there for the Pokemon, or the fact that it's a comfort brand. Ooh, that's a fun phrase I'm a fan of, comfort branding, where you don't really. That's exactly, that's what Sea of Thieves is. It's comfort branding. It's just a brand that makes you feel happy and comfortable. Yeah, being able to fix it via mods is a big thing, and you can't do that. It's just that it's weird. But ultimately, at the end of the day, these are different opinions. But what I'm saying is, when you give people something to rally behind and unify around, they're gonna have a lot of an easier time. Like, I don't see a lot of drama in the TF2 fandom because that game knows what it is. Meanwhile, one of the most toxic fandoms I ever interacted with or was ever a part of was Overwatch. Because Overwatch was a game that fundamentally changed from every update. Overwatch, like every character in that game just, there was no, I don't know, what's the word? Characters were changed so much by the end of that game's run that like there were so many different things for people to argue about, and like people carried their hate into conversations. Like they'd finish a game angry and then they'd go on the forums and like post about the character, and it's like, dude, come on. Here we go. No consistency. Yeah, totally. Overwatch is a fucker's game. PvE, right? That's the one, like, oh god, the complete lack of PvE is so shit, dude. That sucks so bad. That was the one reason for Overwatch 2 to exist. I am excited, as I am a huge fan of World of Warcraft private servers. I am very much looking forward to the Overwatch 1 private server, where we can play that game as it was right before it ended. In which I will play it for 2 hours and then go back to playing TF2 because that game has stolen my heart. Like, the place in my heart that Overwatch used to live in has been completely taken over by Team Fortress 2. It's very sad, but it's definitely the case. You guys ever have that? Here's a question for you. Well, that's because isn't Plants vs. Zombies 2 like rife with microtransactions and ads? Just check in on the Metal Gear Solid 3 remake. Yeah, go ahead and do that. But like, what the fuck was I gonna say? Jesus, somebody's screaming outside. Children are so angry all the time about nothing. It's like the end of the, like they're just playing outside and it sounds like the end of their fucking world. Is EA, so take a guess. Yeah, so it makes sense that they'd crap on Plants vs. Zombies 2. I actually really like Plants vs. Zombies 1. I need to put more time into that. But yeah, the idea, like, here's a question for you guys. Do you guys have that as well, where there's like a game that you really liked once upon a time, but then you just experience a completely separate game and it just takes its place in your heart? I have a few of those and they're very sad, and actually both of them are Blizzard. I used to really like Overwatch, and TF2 has completely replaced it. First it was Paladins that replaced it, and then TF2 replaced Paladins. And then there's Heroes of the Storm, which sadly has been replaced completely in my heart by League of Legends. Like, I have, now that I play now that I know how to enjoy League of Legends, I'm not gonna go saying I play it, but now that I know how to enjoy League of Legends, I'm never going to pick up Heroes of the Storm again, probably. Even though it is still a very good game. Very unique for what it is. It's the fast, aggressive MOBA. I haven't really felt that. Greed killed it. Those are the good ones. That's sad. Really? Okay. I've had that, the main example is Overwatch in TF2, where it's just like the place in my heart where Overwatch used to live in no longer exists, and it's instead replaced with TF2. I have no desire to go back to Year 1 Overwatch anymore. Like, I used to be I was very sad when Overwatch 2 became a thing, and then Overwatch 1 went down. I was like, oh man, now we're never gonna get back. But like, now I don't care anymore. I have TF2. Made a mod for PVZ2 that completely changed it, basically made the better PVZ2. Link that, hey, Blue Wolf, send that to me on Discord. I'll definitely check that out. That sounds kick-ass. I haven't really felt that. Here's an example of one. I really loved the game Enter the Matrix as a kid, and then I played Max Payne, and I'm like, alright, I don't need to play Enter the Matrix anymore. Max Payne kind of took its place in my heart. I'm still gonna play it though and probably really enjoy it, but still, like, goodbye, Exalted Flamer. Me as Sims 3, love that game to death, can never get enough of it. I really need to get into Sims 3. I hear it's better than 4 in every way, but I've I didn't own this. I didn't own The Sims 4 before it went free to play, so I found it online for free, for lack of a better word that I can actually say on stream. I torrented that shit, and I love Sims 4 with all of its DLC in the game already for free. But like, that's not a fair comparison. I need to give Sims 3 the same treatment and see if I like it better. Because I found Sims 3 to be kind of boring, because nothing, like, how do I put it? You can just sit in your house all day in Sims 3 and nothing's ever pulls you out of that. And Sims 4 does. But so I'm assuming if I get all the DLC for Sims 3, I'll like it a lot more. Playing Halo, very similar strategy in gameplay. Oh man, Star Fox Assault is really sick. I'm actually really excited to play Star Fox Assault. Anyway, we've gone over time a bit. Thank you all so much for watching. I'm glad you guys enjoyed the stream. I was really happy to have you here. If you enjoyed it and you haven't followed already, be sure to do so. If you want to see more from me, be sure to check out the YouTube down below. And most importantly, be sure to join the Discord. One more pet? All right, we can do that. One more pet for the road. If you haven't already, join the Discord. Let's go ahead and get one more little pets. And of course, we've had several subs already. What subbing does is it allows you to support the community, or it allows you to support the stream and help it grow. Nose pet? Okay, I got you, homie. I got you. Pet. But yeah, so subscribing allows you to support the community and help us towards our sub goal, which is upgrading my VTuber model. So yeah, kind of unbalanced comparison. No, yeah, you're totally right. You're super right about that. I'm glad. Oh, tomorrow we're playing Hotline Miami 2. Starting that up. I hope you guys enjoy that. Anyway, let's go ahead and find ourselves a Boltgun streamer to raid, shall we? Boop-a-doop-a-doo. Quit the desktop. There we go. Throw the music back on for now. Boop-a-doop-a-doo. Find ourselves a streamer to raid. Bye, Witty. Checking things out. Purge time again for the Emperor. We're gonna go ahead and refresh the page, just make sure. Mike J. Murdoch or Shades for Shays? Check this person out. Another VTuber, huh? He seems cool. I can type in chat without verifying. We're gonna go ahead and follow this guy, or we're gonna go ahead and raid this dude for the EP Kitty with the jacket. Oh, I love that one too. That one's one of my favorites. All right, Blue Wolf, thanks for stopping by. See you later, man. All right, it's raid time. Alright, see you guys in Shade's chat. Be sure to spam your emotes.
See the demons. Chat, do you see the demons? Oh, what was that one show? Yeah, it sounded like, what's it? Oh, wait, they're behind that door. Okay, well, we don't have access to that door necessarily, so I think...
Alright, raid now, let's go! See ya!
Hey, look at this. Okay, so we have